Monday evening, and welcome to my Vinyasa Flow class. I'm Rachel with the Blooming Witch, and I'm hoping we can get some energy moving after possibly being just a little stagnant in recent days. I apologize for my stuffiness. My allergies are kicking into overdrive, even with medicine, so just bear with me for that. Oh, hey Sharon. Nice of you to join. So we're going to be doing some Vinyasa flow this evening. Please grab your yoga mat, grab some water if you want to have some water handy, and then make sure you have any props that you would like to use to assist your practice in any way. So that might be a yoga strap, maybe a blanket or a pillow, or some yoga blocks. And if you don't have yoga blocks, then I always like to recommend grabbing some books, and you can stack a handful of books and use those in place of yoga blocks. So we are going to sort of theme our class this evening around acceptance. We talked about acceptance in our Daily Bloom Midday Meditation earlier today, and the featured flower to help activate acceptance is the Mandavia flower. So it's this really gorgeous, bright pink, sometimes red bloom that will just help us move into a state of ease and around contentment and accepting things as they are. And I think many of us can benefit from working towards that at this time. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but it is necessary if we want to operate from a place of less resistance into for what everything is, how everything is shifting around us at this time. So go ahead and get yourself settled. I'll wait maybe just another moment to see who wants to drop in, and keep in mind the replay is always available and posted on my page, so you can always check it out later if you're not able to practice with us the whole 45 minutes today, or if you're just not able to practice right now, but you want to get your Vinyasa flow in at some point this week. At the top of the link, there is a link for donations if you'd like to leave a donations for today's class. And then just check out my website, see what else I have going on. Everything is happening online right now. If you're interested in doing a flower card reading, then you can sign up and get your own personalized flower card reading. The yoga is continuing, and then I'm hopefully working on a sort of online membership group that I would like to launch maybe by summer, depending on how things are going here and how business is going to be moving forward, with everything having to just sort of stay virtual for the time being. So I'm just trying to think of different ways that we can all connect and support one another, and keep moving through our stuff and keep moving our bodies, and learn how to connect more with the natural world, because I think that's really key right now for maintaining a sense of feeling centered, grounded, and even sane. So I hope you will just stay up to date with me on my page, Instagram, all the different places. So we're going to go ahead and get started in our Vinyasa practice. So let's either come to a comfortable seated position, or if you'd rather lie down on your back, please do. Another option would be child's pose. So I just encourage you to come to a space that feels really calming, really centering, and where you're able to just take a deep breath and feel into your body for a few moments here. And then just take some time to scan your body from your head down to your feet. And be aware of the spaces where you naturally tense, where you tighten, where you contract. And if you come across one of those places within your body, try giving yourself permission to shake it out a little bit, loosen it up a little bit. And all we're doing is noticing what we notice. So stepping outside of ourselves as though you are witnessing yourself in your own practice. And if we start to think about acceptance in terms of our yoga practice, see where that applies. Notice, again, in your body or any emotional response that you have, where if you think about where you're at in your practice, your ability to accept where you are, or how much resistance you have to where you are. And keep in mind that acceptance does not equal giving up. It does not mean that you should not create goals for yourself or have any ambition towards moving forward. But enjoy being where you are, accept where you are as you are there. So we're going to be paying attention quite a bit to that in our practice this evening. So continue inhaling deeply through your nose. And then exhaling either out through your nose or mouth. Feeling the weight of your body against the floor. Feeling the space that surrounds your body. Feeling the cool air on your skin. We're paying attention to all the things within ourselves and paying attention to the things around us. And let's make some small movements to begin. You can start with fingers and toes, hands and feet, possibly move the head around. And then I always enjoy a nice deep stretch, so maybe lifting arms up overhead, stretching from one side of the body and into the other side. And if you're on your back, start to slowly lift yourself up to a seat. And then as you arrive to your seat, let's roll the shoulders out. Rolling them back a few times and then forward a few times. Take a small twist, left hand to your right knee, right hand behind your back on the ground, and then turning your upper body towards the right. And then we take a breath in, return back to center, and exhale to our left. And back to center again. Hands walking all the way out in front of us, forehead towards the mat, and then grounding the tailbone towards the ground. And walking the upper body and arms over to the right side of the room. And then walking upper body and arms over to the left side of the room. And finally we come back to center for one more breath. Sitting up nice and tall, place your palms behind you on the mat, sort of near your hips. And then you have the option to simply lift up through the chest, roll the shoulders down the back, and hold there. If you would rather, you may roll forward up onto the knees and shins, letting the hips lift and the head drop back. And then we bring our hips back to the floor, come to a nice upright spine. Let's roll over onto our hands and knees to tabletop. Placing palms underneath the shoulders, knees stacked underneath the hips. And beginning with a nice neutral spine. So that means we don't want to arch the back, we don't want to round the back too much. We have a nice sort of natural line up and down through the spine. Tucking toes under and letting the hips press back towards the heels to stretch out our toes and soles of our feet. Maybe even shifting your weight a little side to side here. And then lifting the hips back up over tops of the knees, taking the fingertips and spinning them backwards to point towards the back wall, and maybe shifting your weight a little side to side, forward and back, maybe some small circles. And you could do this with both hands at the same time or one hand at a time. And returning the fingertips back to the front of the room. Now moving the body through cat-cow. So we inhale, start to open the chest, lift the gaze up. And with our exhale, we tuck the tailbone round the spine. Breathing in, the heart opens as it draws forward. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round it out. Back to child's pose. So hips to heels, walk the fingertips out and bring the forehead to the floor. From here, let's place both hands on our lower back, one palm on top of the other. And with an inhale, we're rising up onto the knees, lifting both arms up overhead. And then exhale all the way back to child's pose. Inhale, we lift up onto all fours to tabletop. We tuck the toes, we exhale, lifting the knees up, hips back, downward dog. Inhale, we lower the knees to the floor. Exhale, child's pose. Placing both hands on the lower back. Breathing in, we rise up on the knees, arms come overhead. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to all fours, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Both hands return to the lower back. Inhale, we rise up on the knees, arms lift. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Now let's hold here and start to walk this one out. So let the heels lift and drop, alternating left to right or right to left. And then we step the feet wide out towards the edges of our mat. And we'll shift our weight towards the right side. So move the hips towards the right. You should likely feel a deeper stretch up and down the back of your right leg. And then we'll shift our weight and our hips over to the left side, bringing the majority of the sensation up and down the back of the left leg. And the hips return back to center. You can walk the feet in a little bit closer, but keep them wider than your hips. And then rotate the heels in, point the toes out, walk the hands backwards towards your feet, and then we'll go ahead and squat down into Balasana. And then once you're here, you can adjust the distance between your feet. You can adjust the position of your feet. Maybe even add a block or two underneath your bottom for support. So as we hold and breathe here, let's start to lift the crown of the head upwards towards the ceiling. And just take a moment to tune in, noticing if and where you feel any resistance. Noticing where you are able to accept where you're at in this moment. And we'll open this into a twist. So left hand will lower down towards the mat, and the right arm reaches up in the air, turning our chest and head to the right as well. We have the option to tuck the right arm behind the back. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and then we bring palms together at center. And in reverse, right hand lowers towards the ground, left arm reaches up in the air, reaching through the fingertips. And then again, you have the option to tuck the left arm behind the back. We'll send that left arm back up and return back to center. Taking hands down to the floor, start to roll the hips up towards a standing forward fold, and then you can walk the feet into a comfortable hip distance with the toes pointing forward. And then maybe another moment here to walk it out, bending into one knee and then the other knee, moving hips side to side. And then just allowing your body to hang, using gravity to just release the crown of the head towards the floor. And we'll place our palms to our shins, press our chest halfway up, release the shoulders back away from your ears, and exhale, forward fold. Breathing in, we'll stand nice and tall, small bend in the knees as the arms reach upwards. Exhale, palms to heart. Moving now into sun salutations, but we're going to do them in reverse, so a little different than what you might be accustomed to. So when you're ready, let's take an inhale, reaching both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing in, we lift halfway. And exhale, we walk out towards a high plank. Now, if you are in plank and you find that you need a little support here, don't hesitate to lower your knees to the floor, but don't lose the engagement through the core. So keep the core really strong. Take a breath. We exhale, lower head and chest down towards the mat. Now, instead of cobra, the forehead stays on the floor. I want you to inhale and lift the right leg up as though you're trying to touch your toes towards the back wall. And lower the right leg down. Now send the left leg up. And lower the left leg down. We'll tuck the toes, decide if we'd like to use the knees or not to support us as we lift upwards towards plank. And hips reach back for downward dog. Let's take 3 breaths. And when you're ready, begin to walk the hands backwards towards the feet. We take a breath in, press our chest halfway up, palms into shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise up tall, lifting through all 10 fingers. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press up halfway. Exhale, fold, and then walk the hands out back to plank. We hold and find length and strength. Exhale, we lower down towards the mat. Remember, the forehead stays on the floor, the right leg lifts. And then the right leg lowers. Left leg lifts. The left leg lowers. We tuck the toes, engage the legs, the core, the upper body. Big breath, pressing upwards to plank. Exhale, hips back, downward dog. One breath in here. Exhale, hands walk backwards towards the feet. Breathing in, we lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Small bend in the knees. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, palms to heart. One more round, big breath in, we reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk outwards towards plank. Okay, inhale. Exhale, lower down towards belly and chest and forehead. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, lower that leg. Tuck the toes, maybe scoot the hands back a bit. Press upwards to plank and hips back, downward dog. Take 3 breaths. And just sort of assess where you're at, how you're feeling, what's going on. And then as you're ready, let's inhale, reaching the right leg up and back. Allow the right knee to bend, and then lift your right hip open. See if you can square off the shoulders a bit, and then press into the ball of your foot. Now inhale, level the hips, extend the right leg straight back. Exhale, come to plank, pull your right knee towards your nose. Inhale, send the right leg up and back, bend your knee, take the twist. Level the hips. When you're ready, exhale, knee to nose. One more time, we reach up and back, we open the right hip. And then we exhale, take knee to nose. Take your right shin, drop it straight down onto the floor. Spin your back foot open about 90 degrees. Keep your right hand on the mat stacked under your right shoulder. And then reach the left arm up in the air. So now you're facing the side wall. And let's circle that left arm around. One big circle. Lower the left hand back to the floor. Turn onto the ball of your back foot. Pull your right shin up away from the mat. And then step forward into a lunge. We'll place our back knee down on the ground. Inhale, the arms rise up towards Anjaneyasana. One big sweeping breath in. Exhale, hands come to the floor. We'll step back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, forehead to mat. Let's inhale and lift both legs simultaneously. nicely, Shalabhasana. And release both legs to the mat. This time we'll find a baby cobra here, lifting the head and chest up away from the mat. And exhale, all the way down. Tuck those toes. When you're ready, press upwards to plank. Hips back, downward dog. Take a few breaths. I'm gonna turn around for you guys. All right, so let's take it from the top. Inhale the left leg all the way up. We'll bend our left knee, lift and stack the left hip over the right. Try to square off the shoulders and kick into the ball of your foot. We'll level our hips, extend that left leg straight back, breathe in. Exhale, left knee comes to nose as we make our way to plank. Inhale the left leg back, we twist, take it slow. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, we lift, open, twist. Exhale, knee comes to nose. Now your left shin drops straight down. We turn on the back foot. Left hand stays firmly rooted on the mat. Right arm reaches up in the air. Nice open, broad chest. See if you can tuck that tailbone a little bit. And right hand returns to the floor. We rotate the hips to point downwards towards the mat. Activate through your core, pull that left shin up off the mat. Step forward into your lunge. We'll place back knee down on the ground and then reach upwards towards Anjaneyasana. Big inhale. Exhale, hands come back to the floor. We step backwards to plank. Remember, supported plank, knees come to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, forehead to mat. Now both legs lift. Press the pelvis down into the ground. Legs lift. Reach the feet back. Lower the legs. Next inhale, we take cobra. Head and chest move away from the mat, shoulders back. Exhale, forehead to floor. Preparing for your plank. So pressing down through the hands, engage the legs, the core, lift yourself up, and hips back, downward dog. Let's take a pause here. Go ahead, lower your knees to the mat, and make your way to child's pose. So shifting our attention from the external space, from the movement itself, into a more internal space. So maybe closing eyes as you pause here in child's pose. Bringing our attention back to the activation of the Mandavia flower, acceptance, contentment, noticing what arises, what moves through you with ease, what moves through you with resistance. Is there somewhere you can let go more deeply? We'll take one more breath. From child's pose, lift up to a seat. If you're able to sit on your heels comfortably, you may do so. If that hurts your knees, maybe try sitting on a yoga block or two, or coming into a cross-leg position. From your seat, let's send the right hand down to the mat by our side. Left arm lifts, and we're taking a side stretch over to the right. You can send the left rib cage out towards that left side and reach reach through the fingertips. Maybe even rotate the head up and down a couple times, bring some movement through the neck. And we inhale, lifting all the way up. And exhale, take it over to the other side. Again, maybe some movement through the head and neck. And we inhale all the way up. And exhale, interlace hands together behind your back. Hug the shoulder blades together, elbows together, and you're welcome to remain seated. You might also like to try hinging forward and coming towards child's pose, but instead of your arms in front of you, your hands are reaching upwards, arms away from the body. And assuming you don't have any head or neck issues, you might even try moving towards rabbit pose. So your hips will lift and you'll roll towards the very crown of the head. Please make sure you're not collapsing all of your weight into your head and neck. So try to keep the majority towards the lower half of the body. So very, very light pressure at the top of the head. So sort of a variation on rabbit, but with a stretch in the shoulders. And then hips lower down, arms relax. We'll reach our arms all the way out in front of us. And back towards downward facing dog. So repeating that same sequence again. So as you're ready, let's inhale the right leg up. Take a twist. Stacking right hip over left. And then exhale, slowly come forward towards plank, right knee to nose. Inhale the right leg up and back. We open the right hip. Exhale, come to plank, bring knee to nose. Inhale, open up and back. Exhale, knee comes to nose. And let's hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shin drops straight down. We rotate on the back foot. We might even turn that right foot out a little bit as a kickstand. Left arm reaches high up in the air. Now let's send that left arm over towards front of the room, so our upper arm lines up with our left ear. Now if you would like to try a little bit of core work here, make sure your left foot is firmly rooted down, right hand firmly rooted underneath the right shoulder. We're holding here, and we're going to see if we can pull that right shin up off the mat, and then pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your shin down, left hand comes back to the mat. We rotate forward facing. Pull that right knee up into the chest, step forward into your lunge. This time we're keeping the back knee lifted and then rising up towards crescent lunge. And it might be a nice opportunity to circle the hands out here a little bit. Send a lot of energy down into that back heel, left heel. Take a breath. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Let's walk the hands out a few inches, shift your weight forward, float the left leg up and back. Exhale, step feet together. Inhale, press up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly rise up tall. Exhale, palms to heart. Let's add in chair pose here. So make sure feet are a comfortable hip distance. When you're ready, inhale the arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana. So we drop those hips down, we tuck the belly in, we make sure knees align over toes. If there's any pain in the shoulders, you could try cactus arms or taking hands to heart. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lift halfway up. Exhale, walk backwards to plank. Take a breath in. We lower down to chest and forehead. Inhale, Shalabhasana, both legs lift. Exhale, we hold here. One more breath. And legs lower down. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, we lift. Exhale, forehead to mat. Tuck those toes, engage the body, get ready to press up. And exhale, hips back. Take a few breaths. I'm gonna turn around again so I'm not facing away from you guys. One more inhale. And exhale it out. Let's inhale the left leg high. Bend the knee, take that twist. Exhale, bring left knee forward towards the nose. Inhale, slowly open as you rotate. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back, rotate open. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that left knee straight down. Turn that right foot out. Inhale the right arm up, so chest is open. And then right arm reaches overhead. We can stretch and lengthen out the right side. This hair in my face is making me itch. Now if you want to work that core a little bit here, we firmly root down through the right foot, left hand, fire up the belly, and then pull that left shin off the ground. We can pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that left shin down. Right hand returns to the mat, hips point forward. We pull that left shin up one more time, kick forward into a lunge. Make sure we feel steady and stable here. And then rise up tall, crescent lunge. So again, a lot of energy moving down that right leg, back through the heel. Deep inhale. Exhale, hands to floor. Walk it out a few inches. And then float that right leg up and back as though you're trying to kick the wall at the back of the room. One more inhale. Exhale, feet together. Breathe in, press up halfway. Exhale, lower down. Small bend in the knees, rise tall, breathe in. Exhale, palms to heart. Let's pause. Okay, check in, reflect, notice what you notice. Okay, preparing for chair pose. We inhale the arms up. Exhale, we sit back. Let's see if we can lift the toes up, maybe wiggle the toes around a little bit. Make sure we're not gripping the mat with our toes. One more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Big inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, walk it back to plank. Strong core, we inhale. Exhale, lower down towards forehead and chest. Both legs come up, Shalabhasana. Breathe it here. And release legs to mat. Next breath, open towards cobra. And exhale, forehead down. Tuck those toes. One last press up towards plank. And exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Let's drop down to our knees and come to a seat. And let's take our bottoms of our feet together with our knees out nice and wide. And stand up tall or sit up tall, reaching up through the crown of your head. And exhale, we forward fold, maybe using elbows to encourage those knees down, but we don't want to force. And we'll inhale, start to lift ourselves up. Knees come together, and then open up the legs out nice and wide. Maybe scoot those hips forward, and you can decide if you'd like to flex the feet with the toes pointing up, or extend and press into the balls of the feet, whichever is more comfortable to you. So I want you to interlace your hands at the base of your head. Keep your core nice and engaged. Take a breath in, and with your exhale, hinge forward just a couple of inches. Hold there. Maybe it's uncomfortable, but can you just sit with it? Can you accept it as it is? And then we sit up nice and tall. Take a breath. And then lean forward maybe just another inch further. Hold and breathe. And then we lift up nice and tall. One more breath. And then one more round, hinging forward, maybe just even slightly more forward. Let's release our hands down to the mat. You can stay on the hands. You might lower down to elbows. Think about pulling the heart forward and lengthening the spine, lengthening back of your neck. And then ease your way up. Take nice and slow. Take your hands to the backs of your knees and just as slowly draw the heels together. And let's rock out our knees side to side. All right. Let's start to make our way down onto our back. And we'll hug our knees into our chest here. And we don't quite have to hold the knees. You want to have enough range of motion here, freedom of range of motion to circle the knees around. And then circle knees in the other direction. And let's release the right leg all the way down out in front of us onto the mat. Hug our left knee in close. Give a little bit of a squeeze here. Now open your left arm at your side. Right hand still holding the left knee, guiding that knee across your body over to the right side of the room. Enjoy a twist. We inhale, guiding the body back to center. Switching out legs, so the right knee hugs in as the left leg extends out long. Give a bit of a squeeze to that right side. Right arm opens out, and the left hand will guide the right leg over to the left. And we return the body back to center. Both knees come into the chest. Arms are inside of the knees. We can grab feet or shins, maybe backs of the legs as we open into happy baby pose. And now it is your time to rest. So let's take the knees together and then extend your legs down onto your mat out in front of you. Relax and release your arms by your sides. Make any small adjustments that you need to become comfortable and supported. And then we inhale deeply. And with a deep exhale, just relax the body. Allow the body to surrender and the heart to soften and to move into a state of grace and acceptance. Begin to gently ease back to awareness. Feeling movement settle into fingers and toes. Feel your chest expand and contract with every breath. And then move around, shift, stretch, move any way that you need. Perhaps roll to your side and rest for a moment. Eventually, lift yourself towards a seat, placing both palms together against your heart center. We'll take one more deep inhalation, feeling ourselves open, and then exhale, allowing ourselves to soften. Let's all bow our heads to our hearts in gratitude for taking the time to practice and be with our thoughts, our energy patterns, our bodies, and hopefully a place of acceptance today. May we all know love. May we all know peace. May we all know kindness. And may these things always flow to and from us. Namaste. Thank you for participating and hanging out with me today. I hope today's practice was beneficial for you. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully without the sound issues that we had today for the Daily Bloom meditation. So tomorrow at noon, and then Wednesday evening will be our next yoga session. That will be yin yoga at the same time, right here on the Bloomin' Witch. Please feel free to leave comments, suggestions, anything in particular that you might be looking for in your practice as we move forward. And again, if you'd like to donate towards today's class, there is a link at the top of this post. So thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great evening. Bye.